In the heart of West Africa, a storm of resistance and rebirth is shaping the Sahel into a symbol of resilience, not only against terrorism, but against decades of manipulation, exploitation, and suffering. From the scorched plains of Kidal to the strategic military alliances forming in Istanbul and Rabat, a powerful transformation is underway. This week on Chronicle Updates, we bring you a comprehensive view into the multi-dimensional struggle and victories of Mali and its regional allies as they push back against the tide of extremism and foreign control, reclaiming sovereignty one step at a time. As the week unfolded, we were reminded once again of how deeply embedded the current crises in the Sahel are in post-colonial and neo-colonial structures. The pain and destruction engulfing the region are not isolated events. They are legacies of a global order built to control, divide, and exploit Africa. The economic decline in former colonial powers, marked by historic budget deficits, now pushes them to deepen their grip on African territories like the Sahel, using both direct intervention and proxy tactics. These nations are no longer hiding their desperation. Instead, they're actively weaponizing social division and sponsoring chaos to delay their own collapse. Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger have become the battleground for this sinister agenda. But these nations are not folding. A new era of awakening is stirring. Across the Sahel, people are rising, not just in defense of territory, but in defense of identity, dignity, and a future free from foreign manipulation. This resistance isn't confined to military barracks or high-level summits. It lives in the streets, in refugee camps, and in the hearts of exiled youth choosing to return and rebuild. Formerly disillusioned fighters are laying down arms, choosing peace over war, service over destruction. In powerful testimonies, returnees spoke of their transformation. Having been drawn into conflict by false promises and ideological traps, they are now using their voices to call others back from the brink. These men, once engulfed in armed struggle, now plead for unity and peace, sharing stories of regret, realization, and rebirth. Their words echo a powerful truth, that peace, not violence, is the true strength of a nation. While the ideological front unfolds, Mali's defense sector is undergoing a revolution. 45 officers from 5 different countries completed a rigorous 10-month training program that equips them to lead strategic operations in an increasingly complex security environment. These officers, graduates of Mali's prestigious National Gendarmerie Higher Course, are now prepared to command units, lead investigations, and uphold the rule of law. Their training included not only tactical and legal education, but also combat medicine, intelligence gathering, and ethical leadership. These men and women are being groomed to be more than soldiers. They are the future architects of peace and order in a region long scarred by instability. Their graduation wasn't just a ceremony, it was a statement. A declaration that the Sahel is investing in its own security infrastructure. The message was clear. Africa doesn't need foreign bases or mercenary protection. It needs skilled, disciplined, and loyal defenders rooted in the soil they protect. Parallel to this internal capacity building is an intensification of strategic military diplomacy. At the International Defense Industry Exhibition in Istanbul, a high-level Malian delegation met with global counterparts to discuss defense cooperation. The participation of Mali, alongside Indonesia, Turkey, and other partners, shows a shift in global alliances. No longer beholden to traditional Western patrons, African nations are exploring diversified partnerships based on respect, mutual benefit, and shared security goals. Mali's presence in these dialogues signals its readiness to step into a new era where African nations negotiate on equal footing. Back home, this spirit of assertiveness is mirrored on the front lines. Operations under the code name Dukuloko yielded significant successes in recent days. In Kidal, a raid uncovered weapons, communication devices, and materials linked to terrorist operations. In Dansongo, military patrols reassured local residents after armed groups attempted to terrorize a village chief. On August 3rd, in Wabaria and Douanza, Malian forces repelled coordinated attacks with decisive force, neutralizing dozens of terrorists and capturing crucial equipment. These victories weren't just tactical, they were psychological. They sent a message to the enemy that the days of easy advances are over. Meanwhile, intelligence units are exposing a new, desperate tactic among terrorist groups. In a bizarre turn of events, inflatable decoy vehicles were discovered, an old wartime ruse meant to confuse drone surveillance and waste ammunition. These decoys, made of lightweight plastic, are designed to appear like real vehicles but are mere illusions. Their use reflects the fading confidence of terrorist groups in their ability to win through force. With battlefield dominance slipping from their grasp, deception has become their last refuge. This transformation in enemy tactics also highlights how adaptable and professional Mali's armed forces have become. Gone are the days of reactive responses. Today, strategies are driven by intelligence, foresight, and technological awareness. The Malian army is not just stronger, it's smarter. Soldiers now undergo constant retraining and are held to high ethical standards. This shift is restoring trust between civilians and the military, a relationship long strained by years of conflict and abuse by foreign-backed forces and mercenaries. And the human face of this transformation is becoming more visible. In a symbolic act of justice and transparency, 13 individuals previously detained under suspicion of terrorism were released after thorough investigations cleared them. These releases, announced with dignity and clarity, underscore a renewed commitment to human rights and due process. Even amidst war, the rule of law stands. But the most moving aspect of this evolving narrative is the stories coming from the refugee camps. Malian refugees in Mauritania, many of them teachers, civil servants, and students, refused to adopt foreign curricula. They insisted their children be taught using Malian education programs. They refused to be erased. Since 2013, despite hardship and exile, these communities have held on to their national identity, showing that even in displacement, Mali lives on in the minds and hearts of its people. Their voices have now reached the leadership, prompting action and engagement from the Malian embassy and education ministry. This kind of grassroots patriotism cannot be bought or manufactured. It's born from love of country. Across the region, a strategic cultural and educational exchange is taking root. Malian officers from the War College visited Niger and Burkina Faso for a week-long study tour. They learned from their counterparts, studied joint strategies, and witnessed firsthand how these neighboring nations are fighting the same enemy. From anti-terror tactics to conservation efforts, these visits went beyond the battlefield. Officers walked alongside giraffes in Kure, discussed public utility infrastructure, and engaged with local institutions. These experiences are shaping a new doctrine of Pan-African defense, one grounded in cooperation, shared history, and future vision. The visit wasn't just symbolic, it was practical. These officers are drafting new modules and military doctrines that reflect the real, on-the-ground challenges of the Sahel. From border security to intelligence sharing, the Confederation of Sahel States is evolving into a unified military body. The days of isolated national armies are ending. What's emerging is a continental defense shield, African in leadership, African in purpose, and African in power. As this transformation unfolds, international partnerships continue to expand. A Malian delegation recently traveled to Morocco for a deep dive into the operational infrastructure of the Moroccan armed forces. From hospitals to social services to engineering training centers, the visit was packed with knowledge exchange. The aim was clear: to strengthen military health systems, enhance social support for soldiers, and streamline communications within the army. These relationships are more than just protocol. They're building blocks for a defense system that is efficient, humane, and locally controlled. At the heart of all these developments lies a common truth. The people of the Sahel, and of Mali in particular, are tired of being pawns in a global chess game. They are rising with clarity and purpose. Whether through the military, civic activism, or education, they are reclaiming their future. As this 177th episode of Citizen Defense draws to a close, the message is unmistakable. The tide is turning. The Sahel is no longer a helpless victim of foreign plots. It is becoming a stronghold of resistance, a hub of regional integration, and a beacon of hope. The journey is long and the obstacles are many, But with every operation, every graduation, every speech of reconciliation, and every returning refugee, the dream of a secure, sovereign, and united Africa inches closer to reality. For Chronicle updates, this is more than news. It's history in the making. Stay tuned and keep your eyes on the Sahel, because what is rising from its sands will change the course of African destiny.